I'm so much more tempted to hum Pop Goes the Weasel extremely creepily at trick-or-treaters right now.
Here we go! This night, you're gonna find that nightmares do come true. We will find you. Treat, treat. This night, you're gonna find that people.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror, Year 3. Welcome to Day 29. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. We have another, what I like to call, real haunted house subgenre that seems to be taking over, especially during 2019, I would say, with Hellfest. So many similar movies have come out, kind of making a subgenre from what it seems, where, you know, a bunch of kids go to an attraction, which is usually a haunted house or a haunted park or haunted event of some kind during Halloween, and everything ends up being real. This is one of the better made ones according to critics and according to popularity, but there's been a lot of what I would say copycats. However, I don't know what the copycats is of what and what's copying who, so this I just know is one of the most popular ones, as well as the one called Haunt that also came out in 2019, which I actually really ended up enjoying. And then you've got Bloodfest, and then you've got Funhouse Massacre, I believe. I've done some research, a little bit. But this one I found online for $5. $5. And I just put it in my cart because, I mean, I hadn't seen it before. I love this genre. Like, I think they do a really good job with it. So far, like, the crappiest one has been okay, so watchable. And then the best ones have been really good. So they kind of go from, like, good to fantastic. And this one, it's pretty up in there in the fantastic. I had a blast with this film. This film is really well done for a film that kind of knows what it is, especially because you look at it and you expect it to have kind of a lot of tropes that a lot of teen movies have, and I'm pretty sure they even they went for an R rating. I was gonna say it. I didn't know if they actually stuck with PG-13, because I know a lot of things they don't really push 100% with the gore and stuff like that. Although there is gore in here, they keep it tame enough to please a lot of audiences. But that doesn't take away from how much fun this film is. But plot-wise, it's pretty basic. There's a kind of carnival amusement park going on that's all Halloween themed. It takes place during Halloween, obviously, and there's your usual park, and then there's the main attraction, which is called Hellfest, it's just called Hell, like the maze itself. The whole event is Hellfest, and then the main maze is called Hell, but to go through that maze, you need to, like, sign a waiver. You need to complete a couple of other mazes throughout the park before you can get to that one, because it's the most extreme. And these kids who actually have really good chemistry. That's another thing in this film, is that the characters actually have chemistry. They're not throwaways, they're not kills, and they utilize the characters where they actually make sense to each other. Like, they're believable. I love that. I hate, like, the worst thing is to see a film where the characters are just there to act stupid and get high and get drunk and make out and make sex jokes and be killed. Not taking away anything from that, it's just when you stick to those tropes, it's just lazy writing. And if you don't have anything to back it up, then it's just lazy writing. Like, I'm not saying it can't be done bad, because you take a slasher movie, it's full of that. But a slasher movie has kills to back all that up, has, you know, a great killer to back all that up. Amazing killer in here, by the way, I'll get to that too. But when it's just your basic-ass movie with your basic-ass story and your basic-ass writing, and then your characters are also basic-ass, you just have a basic-ass movie. That's my point, where This one fleshes out the characters. The story is basic in the sense that it's a little predictable, but there's twists and turns where it doesn't play by the numbers and play by the rules, and that's what I love about it. Like even with without getting into spoilers, but the main girl, the final girl you can say, and her crush, who is this boy that she was expecting to come join because she has a big crush on him and he likes her and everything. You're just sitting there the whole time. It's like, when are you gonna make out with the girl already? Like, honestly, you guys like each other. Even their friends are trying to set them up, and everything is so clear, and they're so awkward. And this guy has absolutely no game, and they're both shy as hell. And what I was saying about a film that would play by the rules and play by the numbers would just have them, go through the film, fight whatever they need to fight through, split up, get back together, and then end up happily ever after. But like, it changes that up a little bit too, where they kind of split up right at the beginning, and they kind of go on their own paths, and the group that's together split up. So it doesn't play typically, which is a breath of fresh air, and something that this film does right off the bat. I was saying about the killer. The killer is a masked killer, and it adds a slasher trope to this amusement park where, again, this is another vague film, just like the one I was talking about yesterday. It doesn't explain much, and it doesn't give much story and explanation of motives. This is not a film about motives. This is a film about fear. This is just a piece of horror in itself, in its essence. And the vagueness is, again, going to piss a lot of people off, but I think that these films are perfect that way. You have the group of kids in this Hellfest, in this Halloween event, and then you have a slasher killer thrown in there who sneaks his way into the amusement park and starts to wreak havoc. And then in the climax, things start to kind of ravel around and wrap up, and it plays out, in my opinion, really smartly. Now, another person may see the same film and be like, oh, it's stupid, nothing was explained. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why wasn't this explained? Why wasn't that explained? But to me, I mean, I've heard other people review horror films and say the exact same thing. That kind of builds on the horror. That's what makes everything even scarier, is the unknown. Because everybody knows that the unknown is scarier than the known. I've heard, a few other reviewers say as well that, like, would you rather have everything explained at the end and revealed to you, and this big plot on, the killer has a motive against one character and this is everything that happened, or just to leave everything vague to, like, in the sense of a mystery or a wonder? Like, I would take that. I would take the latter, and I think horror films especially are much more effective that way. So yeah, like I said, I am forgetting her name, and it kills me because I literally should have looked it up. But there's an actress from the Scream TV series that plays a girl named Taylor in here. She's great. She has like a short haircut. She's the girl in the Scream series, seasons 1 and 2. She has the short haircut. Again, I even forget the name of the girl who plays in Scream. But yeah, she's great in this. She's one of the best characters. She's so funny and witty and likable. The main girl, Natalie, oh my god, she's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the kids are pretty stereotypical, and that's another thing. Like, as soon as you see them, you're like, okay, we know where this is going. But, they give you some surprises, and I'm glad they did, because if they kept everything cookie cutter, recipe style, it would not be nearly as good as and effective as this film turned out. And, like, even when I was coming down to, like, the vagueness, even the last scene of the movie is great, in my opinion. Everything is really, really good about this. This is a perfect film of its kind. It's not a perfect film, but it's a perfect film of its kind, and that makes me give it a 78 out of 100. Why out of 100? Because I hate decimals. But as for the film, really well done. The characters, their communication is great, and the way they're written is great. Now, that's not to say that a lot of the dialogue is not great, because there's some scenes where the dialogue is actually kind of cringy. But when it comes to the characters interacting with each other, they're believable. They're not just dumb teenagers who are playing on, 2019 tropes of what's politically correct and what's not. The way they interact with each other is very believable and very, you can get behind it more. It feels authentic. It doesn't feel forced. Nothing feels forced. And nothing, like, it's easy for characters to annoy you these days, at least for me. And it happens pretty fast. It usually happens at the beginning of a film that I watch, where the characters are just, I've had enough of already. And this is not one of those films. So this film does a lot well, and it's a high recommendation for me. So 78 out of 100. That's day 28. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you have not already, to keep up with all these reviews. Yeah, I'm coming up to my last two, so this is gonna be pretty fun. And yeah, that's about it. And for today, anyway. But I'll be back for more, and yeah, 31 Days of Horror is almost up, but not quite up yet, and I still have actually some horror films that I've put at the end on purpose, because they're just going to be so much fun to review. So anyways, that'll wrap this up, and until next time, have a great night, and cheers.